This is Dave at TitleSearch.com and AFX Title. As a title abstractor or title searcher, you may be called upon to do a title search for the purpose of a bail bond lien or for supporting a bail bond. And it's important when you're doing this type of search to take a look at the purpose and the mechanics behind this search. The title search might appear to be the same exact process as performing a search for any other use, but there's a few differences in how the search is being used that might adjust what your process is. First of all, remember that the bail bonding company that is hiring you to do the search is looking to, first of all, verify ownership, making sure that the person who is guaranteeing that bail bond and the release of that person from jail actually owns the property, and that they have the ability to encumber that property to secure that bail bond. So they're going to look to make sure that the person who is coming to them to sign off on that bonding form actually has a legal vesting in the property. The next thing they're going to do is look to see if equity position exists, so that there is equity if that bond defaults, that they have a place to go for lien position, which isn't as important as the ownership, but it is also a factor. Separately from that, as part of the business relationship with your client, remember that this is a time-sensitive issue, even more so than when you're trying to do a search for a closing on a certain closing date. This is a person who's actually currently incarcerated, that somebody is trying to get out of prison, and maybe a family member, usually is a family member, and a bonding company that wants to get this person out of jail as soon as possible. So the turnaround time for this title search is critical, and you may not get some of the urgency of that. They just want to get the search done, but getting that fast turnaround is crucial. In fact, it may even be relevant to get some verbal answers to the client so they can start the process. Look, they're not going to actually spring that person from jail until they have a search in hand, written documentation that the lien position is available and that the ownership is verified. But if you can at least tell that client that it looks like the ownership is good, it looks like the lien position is good verbally, they may be able to start their paperwork. They're obviously not going to get that person released from jail until they have it in their hand, but that paperwork might have some lead time that they can start working on in the meantime. So the answers to those questions might be helpful, and it builds a good relationship with you and the client. Also remember that once this bail bonds lien is filed later on, just as a curiosity factor for title searchers, this is one example of a type of lien that might be an open-ended lien, meaning that it doesn't have a dollar amount on it. As a title searcher, we're used to seeing a lien with a specific dollar amount, $10,000 tax lien or $50,000, mortgage lien, voluntary lien. When we see bail bond liens, we may see them as just an open-ended amount, so that if the amount fluctuates up or down, it still satisfies that lien position for the bonding company. And as a last issue, as a certified title abstractor or a professional title searcher, you may want to offer to that bonding company to go back a week or two later, or whenever they're going to file their lien, and make sure it's recorded properly. You may even want to volunteer to try to do the recording for them, because that's going to be something they need. You do that search, they want to make sure that ownership and lien position exists, and so having the ability to offer an additional service to get that thing recorded properly and to make sure that it's in the records with a recording stamp can also help their position. So bail bond liens is something that is an issue for more urgency than a typical title search. As a professional abstractor, we can keep that in mind when doing a search, that it's more than just getting information. It's solving somebody's needs and resolving an urgent situation for somebody who's in jail.